Hi, everybody. This is Bob Gale, co-creator of Back to the Future, and you're listening to Brad Gilmore.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Doc! Okay, relax, Doc. It's me. It's Martin.
Oh, it can't be. Just sent you back to the future.
Yeah. Oh, I know you did send me back to the future, but I'm back. I'm back from the future.
Great Scott.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Whoa, this is heavy.
Well, joining me on the line right now is one of my favorites of all time, and they're back with a new comedy that is going to be one of your favorites. It's called The Dink. It is available now on Apple TV. It is one of the great sports comedies here in the last couple of years, and she's joining me on the line right now, one of the stars, Miss Mary Steenburgen. Ma'am, how are you?
I'm good. Is it true that you go out to Nashville as well?
I do, yes. Yes, also in the great city and state of Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh my gosh, I used to live there part-time, and I still go there all the time because I write music for the folks at Universal, and so I write music with Nashville people, and I have such a soft spot for that city. And then Houston, I made a movie there one time, and just loved it, had the best time there.
What movie did you make in Houston?
I made a movie called Powder many years ago. And it was just, people were so nice to us. We rented a house and because we had our kids and dog with us, and it was just lovely being a part of that community for a few months.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us. Of course, people in Houston and Nashville, friendly folks down here, of course. And but when we talk about The Dink, I want to jump into this because I had so much fun watching this movie, and I feel like this is a step towards the right direction for these comedies again. That just, I don't know, they're just, I hate to use the term feel good because it's so cliche, but it really is one of those feel good comedies where I laugh throughout, and the relationship that you and Jake's character share in this is something that I don't actually remember seeing on film in quite some time. It's a very unique relationship that y'all have.
We've tried to think of another movie that has a relationship like this, and no one's come up with one. So it's interesting to do something that's this unique. But we had, honestly, the best time making this movie. It's really about both pickleball and tennis and the sort of rivalry between the two and who plays what and why. And it was just a joy to make, start to finish.
Well, yeah, I mean, the pickleball and tennis community, that is a real rivalry. In my health club, they've replaced the tennis courts. They've even replaced the basketball courts because pickleball has taken over in such a strong way, and it's such a fun game to play. But here's my question to you. The movie is called The Dink, and I want to know, where do you sit on the usage of the dink itself in pickleball, the maneuver in pickleball? It's controversial to some. I think it's part of the game, and you just have to live with it.
Hey, I don't know if she was just making it easy for me or not, but the greatest female player in the game for many years now is Anna Lee Waters. And we were hitting together in New York a few days ago, and with Jake and Erin Chen, and she, the ball came to me, and I did this little dink, and she returned it into the net. Now, go figure. I could have just been her being incredibly sweet, but she's amazing. But I do think there's a place for it. I think it's one of the more interesting things because it's like a test of patience. You hit it and hit it until somebody makes a mistake and pops it up a little bit too high, and then you can smash it down, And if you're impatient, you don't get to that point. You lose that, So I find it really interesting.
You mentioned one of your co-stars there, Aaron Chin, who I think just has such a breakout performance in this movie. He made me laugh so much.
Good in it.
He made me laugh so much. I don't know how anybody got through a take with him. He had my favorite line of the movie, which I never can blame a man for going antiquing. There's so many things that he says that are so funny. I don't know how y'all got through shooting this.
Well, we barely did, and I've been to press with him, and trust me, it was not easy getting through interviews because Jake said the perfect thing about Aaron, because he said, he'd had Aaron on his podcast, which I've also been on, and that usually when he's doing this, he kind of knows what someone's going to say in response to something, or sort of generally where the joke's going to go. And with Aaron, you literally have no idea what's going to come out of the man's mouth. He has such a unique brain. And I really urge people to look at his stand-up, too. His stand-up is fantastic. It's completely unique. And I love him. He's become a real friend. And Jake and Aaron and I just had a great time together.
Again, we're talking to Mary Steenburgen. The film is called The Dink. It is available globally on Apple TV. I encourage everybody to watch it. Everyone's performances were off the charts. Ben Stiller and Harris. Everyone is great in this movie. Mary, we talked about here. I am here in Texas. I have an affinity for Westerns, and you have two of my favorites of all time. Of course, Going South, which is directed by Jack Nicholson, which is a movie I watched a lot as a kid, and then Back to the Future Part 3, which is the best of the Back to the Future trilogy. Even Christopher Lloyd told me that himself. I don't know if you have the same affinity for Westerns that I do, but I have to ask you about working on Back to the Future 3. Do people still bring that movie up to you all the time? Because you and Chris's relationship was so much fun to watch as a fan of that trilogy.
Yes, people have turned their kids onto the trilogy, and they especially seem to like that one. And it's that and Step Brothers and Elf are probably, of the films I've made, the three that most people kind of reference when they come up and say hello. And as far as doing Westerns, because my first film, the one Going South with Jack Nicholson, that was my first movie. I was 24. It was kind of quite a discovery story, and I was a waitress at the Magic Pan restaurant in New York before that, and went to an audition, ended up getting to screen test for it out in Hollywood. I'd never been out to LA, and they flew me out, and it was all big stars except for me, and then somehow I'm the one that got that part. So Westerns for me hold a magic on so many levels. I've always loved horses. I love to ride. By the way, in Back to the Future 3, I trained really hard to be the person that rode up to the back of the train and touched it. And then my stunt double does the transfer from the horse to the train. But if you watch it, you can see it's me up until the touching of the back of the train. But we had trained, because horses aren't crazy about going between two moving vehicles.
I'm sure.
And so we trained for this stunt, and I worked on it for a long time. And the night before we were to shoot, the head wrangler called me and said, "Mary, I'm going to switch horses on you." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "I just have a feeling." And I said, "You know what? You're the pro. You know what you're doing. I'm going to trust you on this." And so the day of the stunts, I got him the new horse, and the second I got on him, I knew that the Wrangler had made the right move. You could just feel it, because there was always a skittishness with the other one. And this one was like, no, I got you. I don't care if I run between a loud steam engine and a camera truck. I'm fine with that.
Well, you know what? It's a great story about, you got to listen to the pros. They know what they're doing, whether they're stunt coordinators, tennis players, or pickleballers. And of course, the Dink you can check out on Apple TV globally. Mary Steenburgen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Congratulations on the film. I truly appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Oh, Brad, what have you done now?